Before the achievements, before the celebrations, there's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
Bulldog fans, remember to follow Adrian College TV on social media. For game highlights and campus events, you can catch it all on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at Adrian College TV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our future streams live and support your Bulldogs.
Continue to take pride and learn from Asa Mahan's leadership today. "161 years of commitment to harnessing the power of creativity, ingenuity, community, and academic excellence."
I believe that if you get your degree, the world is going to feel like it's shrinking.
Adrian College is shaping the future of higher education and leading the way in innovation and excellence. Ranked first in most innovative schools and second in best value in undergraduate teaching in the Midwest by U.S. News and World Report, Adrian College is recognized for its commitment to innovation, quality education, and affordability. Offering 71 undergraduate programs, 13 graduate programs, and a 1:15 faculty-to-student ratio, our students receive personalized attention and a cutting-edge education. With state-of-the-art facilities, 10 academic institutes, and 50 competitive sports teams, Adrian fosters growth both inside and outside the classroom. From small class sizes to championship-level athletics, we provide the tools and experiences you need to succeed. Join a community that prioritizes your success. Start your journey with us, where your potential is realized. Discover Adrian College.
Thursday night hockey inside the Arrington Ice Arena. Things are about to get spicy in Adrian, Michigan. Hello, everyone. Alex Herman and Tyler Ackerman up here in the booth. Of course, we have to apologize first and foremost. No pregame show. Had some technical difficulties to kick off the broadcast, but we're here now, and we'll try and get as many notes in as possible as we get a ceremonial puck drop up at center ice for AYHL and Lenawee United hockey nights. So, Northwood University Timberwolves and the Bulldogs. I'm very interested to see what happens with this Northwood squad because they've got an interesting story coming into this game. They're 1-1 to start the season. They split their opening weekend with Davenport, who, of course, the Bulldogs play on a regular basis and is a solid opponent. But this is their second year in the ACHA Division I play. The previous seasons, they were at the D3 play. But last season, they were 28-2-0 as their first year in D1 play. In the GLCHL, of course, the old conference of the Bulldogs. And they did pretty well for themselves. They've got some solid players on their team. And as the night goes on, we'll look at some statistics. But this could make for a really sneaky good game because Northwood is a well-seasoned roster at this point and definitely has some potential.
Yeah, one thing I want to mention is last year they actually split against Calvin, which I mean, Calvin's a great squad, always plays Adrian super tough. I mean, they won, and Adrian won in overtime the GL6 against Calvin. Like, that's a good squad, and splitting them last season. And also Davenport, Adrian won 3-0 and 4-2 last year against Davenport, so it wasn't an easy game for them by any means. And splitting right off the bat, I feel like this game is going to be super interesting, and I'm excited for it too.
Yeah, and we look at the schedule from last season, for the most part, and this is not to discriminate towards any of the other clubs that Northwood has played against, but for the most part playing against unranked opponents. So the strength of schedule not necessarily there, but they are winning those games by large margins. And of course, you mentioned that split with Calvin. Calvin, of course, in the GL6 final, a national tournament team. That's a good game. And Davenport is another really solid program up in the Grand Rapids area to kick off this season. So this should be a fun one here from the AIA. Everybody will gather up at center. 20 minutes on the score clock. Puck is dropped, and Thursday night hockey is back in Michigan. We are underway at the AIA. Northwood winning the opening faceoff. That is Sebastian Smith, who's at center, flips it into the offensive zone. Puck through the legs of Justin Jammer as he shoulders it off his left side. Ethan McLaughlin back at his own blue line. Here's Totorovic, who's one of those highlighted players that we have. An NCAA Division III drop down from Finlandia University from a number of seasons ago before Finlandia shut their doors permanently. And I remember my freshman year seeing Todorovic play against our NCAA Division III team here on campus. So interested to keep our eyes on him to see how he does.
And when you mentioned that school to me, I was like, what in the world are you even talking about? I had no idea at all.
Here's Smith knifing into the offensive zone. We'll rip this around the boards for Eli Reimer, who had a solid weekend against Trine just some 7 days ago.
Yeah, he looked fantastic, especially with this line here. First line for a reason, and he's got on the job for it.
And it definitely was a weekend led by this incoming freshman class, and a couple of transfers mixed in there, as there's a quick shot that gets blocked off the shin pad of Zaski. He'll pick that puck up, takes a tumble underneath the red line. Gajewski with an outstretched pass. Now it's Mateo Turin up the right wing. Turin shielding on the puck, looks towards the net for the cross crease to Calloway. Didn't have his stick on the ice. Tied up along the boards, Turin fighting hard for it. Taken down there's to Calloway, gets an extra shove. That was Colin March with the extracurricular activities. DeCalloway now goes in for it and lays a hit of his own. Doesn't knock his man off his feet, but this puck sent to the top of the left blue line. Zaski rips it in down low, will cycle left to right, picked up in the corner by March. Zaski with a step-up hit in open ice. Maybe some questions on if that could have been a call. Was a little bit late, not a whole lot of puck contact going on there. But
no, he didn't even look at the puck at all. All he wanted to do was hit body right there.
Shot from the point, patted aside by Traska, who also had a nice solid weekend against Trine. Him and Dylan Eliason split those two games, 9-0 and 12-0 wins. Strasky with a Mohawk move as he's sent into the boards. Bryce Garber hit hard into the glass. Allen in front of the Northwood bench turns that puck over for Garber. We'll put it into the soft area of the ice. Strasky to retrieve it, lost control. Chance in front of the net, poke checked away as it's sent up to the blue line. Here's a wrister that's blocked off a shin pad, nice soak. That was Luke Marley, one of the freshmen. Up top on the blue, that's Leo Crawford. Sent the shot in well wide of the net. Mins across the lane to Allen, who's lit up. Nathan Ayayu laying the hammer down. A lot of physicality so far in this game.
Yeah, it's looking good so far through first couple of minutes.
Northwood not being shy to lay the body, and that's a good strategy to come into this barn. Head coach Jordan Coopers, there's a rebound in front. Puck is lost in the blue paint. Nobody knows where it is. Finally, it's sent off the high glass and carries out of the zone. If there's anything we know about these dogs, they're certainly skillful, but they They like to hit a lot, and sometimes that's an intimidation factor, but not backing down from the fight are the Timberwolves thus far. 4 minutes into this one, no scoring yet. Shots even up at 1 apiece. Croston sending Weidman into the boards there as this is flipped from center ice. Traska began his approach to come out of the net, decided to stay in the paint. Mock sends a pass in front of him. Weidman with an outstretched stick and does not carry into the glass, but now they're saying it does. And we'll get our first stoppage of the play. 15:39 left to go here in the first period.
Yeah, that one's going to be an icing, actually, because Weidman was before the red line when he tipped that puck in, and the linesman immediately notified it, and nice call by the referee.
Thought maybe they would give tie to the runner there. It was very close to make that call, but you are right. That definitely is the right decision. Jammer up for Weidman. Weidman's pass is turned over and collected by Alex Budenko. Budenko's shot scores! Alex Budenko on the second shot of the game. Fools Peyton Traska, and it's 1-0 Timberwolves.
Yeah, that one was just a weird one, a weird deflection. I don't know if Traska necessarily even saw that one or where that puck was. I think it deflected off of, I don't know if it was Zaski there. We'll catch it on another replay. This one, another turnover on the blue line, trying to stretch it out. And it's Motter, actually, I think, that tips this puck right past Traska.
Well, we sort of alluded to it in our half pre-show that this could be a game where Northwood winds up giving the Bulldogs some trouble, and trouble we found ourselves in as this is offsides. A quick rush and a shot from Samuel Asanawi.
And Zaski's going to go to the box here.
Yeah.
I think he,
Yeah,
slash.
And another point that we talked about at the start of the game. I had it down that the Bulldogs needed to stay more disciplined. They had some penalty trouble in the first game against Trine, and now they're going to go on the 5-on-4 PK for the next 2 minutes.
I will also mention that it's a little bit tough when you play an opponent like Trine. That second and third period, it was not close at all. I mean, you saw Sebastian Smith having fun around there. The Bulldogs were having fun, and trying to adjust and play a team that's actually competitive after that, it takes a little bit, and Northwood's obviously putting on the pressure right away.
So now a 5-on-4 power play for the Timberwolves as they'll head up ice. It's turned over. There's a steal. Brandon Nye in on net. His wrist shot just goes wide. Might have tipped off the glove of Mason Matthew. And an almost shorty for the Bulldogs. That would have been a great response.
Yeah, Nye was able to get that one out of midair and turns up on the ice. It was looking backhand the whole entire way and brings it back to the forehand, trying to fool Matthew. He was able to get a glove on it. Matthew sent it at 6'6". That's a tall guy.
That's a big boy right there. When we saw him come out for warm-ups, I said there's no way that kid is 6'6". He looks a lot taller than that, and he takes up a whole lot of net.
Yeah, I would assume that Bulldog forwards are going to try to shoot low on him.
Whoa, when that puck popped up off the outside of the apron, looked like it had dropped behind Traska for a second. As we're just about 45 seconds in to the power play for Northwood. Here's Garber, who rips a shot on net, tipped up into the netting. And again, a good scoring chance for the Timberwolves, really making life difficult for the Bulldogs early.
Yeah, the forward that came right across Traska's eyesight there actually tipped that puck as Traska was about to glove it down, and he had no idea where that puck was. So a few dangerous chances so far for Northwood. We got a goal to come out of it too.
D-to-D pass. Crawford cycles for Budenko. His wrist shot soaked and tipped into the netting. I believe that was Mott who got a piece of it.
Yeah, it was good fronting by him, especially when that puck comes around the horn in the top. And make sure that weak side defenseman has to step up quickly and get the block shot, and that's exactly what he was able to do.
Rimmed around on the backhand. Crawford will hold it up top. Across the blue line, a half snapshot goes low. McLaughlin presses on. Now this is off for Bedanko. Bedanko, top of the right circle, no angle for him. Mott shadowing him well. DeCalloway steps up and presses on. Stolen away in between the hash marks and cleared all the way down the ice. As Mason Matthew came out to play it, skipped over his stick blade, 20 seconds left in the power play for Northwood. Timberwolves make their way up ice. McKellen lost control of it, has to play it back for March. And now it's Asanawi. Off for March, who takes a look. 7 seconds left. Time winding down. An outstretched pass gets waved off as Brow gets there, but it was Asanawi who pulled up at the last second. So we're back to even strength 5-on-5 hockey now. As number 5, Ryan Brow, gets it through a soft area. Now it's Turin. Backhand in the slot. Shoulder save holding the post. It was Mason Matthew trying to find a shot on a sharp angle. That was Keegan DeCalloway. Or I'm sorry, was that Hunter Allen? Or was that DeCalloway? 23 or 26? I couldn't see the number.
I think Marley was the one that gave that pass. It was a very nice pass, but Matthew staying strong so far. They're just hugging that post the whole way, using his frame to his advantage.
Northwood will pick up the puck off the draw and flip it through the neutral zone, trying to get around Strasky. That was Donald Gooley, who fell to the ice in a heap. Dylan Gajewski trying to flip it out. Puck stays onside somehow. Nyes will send a wrister towards the net. This is chopped off the high glass. Sigmund puts it on, bobbled around again. Traska having a difficult time getting his eyes on the puck. Maybe a little bit too much traffic in front of him. Don't know if he's having a hard time seeing the shooters.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Northwood forwards doing a great job of taking his eyes away. They at least have 2 people in front of the goaltender every single second.
Marley taking his time as he works low to high. Will still circle the zone, shielding on his backhand. There's a glove down on the play. Just beyond the blue line, quick snapshot from the top. That was Zaski who let one go. Blanked off the end boards. As Smith goes to recover this, juggled for a second. And now developing 2-on-1 chance. Toth trying to get back. Here's a break. Backhand stopped by Traska. Got it with the glove and he'll hold on.
Yeah, that's another one. Weird shot for Traska again. I mean, that one was kind of just another deflection that originally was supposed to go to his left, but it somehow went right back to the right, and he was able to get a good glove on it as he was sliding to his left. I mean, that's another scary chance. The Bulldog defense, I mean, credit to Northwood. They're doing a great job with their forwards right now, putting the pressure on the Bulldog defense.
This puck cleared out of the zone. Reagan now for Wyman, who puts on the brakes. There's a wrist shot that doesn't get through. He'll open up. It's turned over. Mott couldn't keep it in and decides to send it all the way into the uprights. We'll get a whistle. 11:04 left to go in the first period. Thursday night hockey here at the AIA on ACTV. 1-0 our score thus far for those of you just tuning in. Alex Bedanko getting the opening tally at 4:39. And he is the sharpshooter for this Northwood squad that we have to watch out for this season. That's his 3rd goal in his 3rd game of the season. No assists yet. Safe to say he is the shooter.
Pure goal scorer. That's it.
This puck travels through the neutral zone. Bulldogs don't have options, so they elect to go dump and chase. Skimmed up the boards and touched up by Schur as a large hit gets a big reaction from the bench. A tip on the net. Gets shouldered away by Mason. Bulldogs trying to find their groove just about 10 minutes into this one. Gajewski forwards it for Turin. Lost it in his feet. Gets taken off the puck and sent to the ice by Alex Blankenship. And Blankenship, a name that the Bulldogs are certainly familiar with, the transfer from Purdue Northwest. Another GL6 team in conference for Adrian College men's D1. Now in his sophomore season with Northwood. So we'll head down the length of the ice. We'll get icing and a stoppage with 9:47 left to go in the first period.
One thing I want to note is the stretching by the Northwood forwards are causing issues for the Bulldog defense, especially when the Bulldogs are used to being able to have offensive defensemen and trying to jump on plays most of the time and pinch whenever they want to, but that's not the case for tonight so far. Northwood doing a good job of stopping every pinch from a defenseman.
Dylan Gajewski takes a hard slap shot. That went straight through the blue paints. This is 91, Gooley, as he'll skate the puck down the zone. It's tied up with Toth along the boards. DeCalloway in for support. And the Bulldogs are going to head back to the PK here. This is going to be a hooking call, I believe, against Toth.
You're going to be exactly right. The puck was nowhere near. It was behind the net, actually, and Gooley went to go get to it, and Toth would just put his stick right in his midsection.
Maybe a matching call here. Hold on. Let's see. It looked like the official was pointing towards the bench.
I mean, both doors have opened, so I would assume that you're right here.
Toth is going to go for sure. And yes, Gooley is going to go as well, who seems surprised. And unfortunately, I have to agree with him. I thought the only crime that was committed there was the hooking call that was clear as day, but maybe he said something after the whistle, or
it could have been an embellishment too. That's a possibility, because both of the referees went to each other to talk about the situation, so that could also be a call as well, but I'd probably lean towards saying something most likely.
So a pop up in the air, taken by Reimer. Reimer over the line. Now it's Strasky who opens things up. On the hunt is Sebastian Smith. Will circle around the zone. Doesn't let go of the puck as he's picking up speed. Drop pass left at the top of the point. That was Brow who sent it back around for Smith. He's still taking the puck himself. Gets a shove in the back as he lost his balance. And a whistle here. I think this is going to go against Northwood.
No, it's going to go against Smith, I'm pretty certain, actually. He held onto the puck. He put his full hand over the puck. For when he dropped down, he held onto the puck for a few seconds. Yeah, he's going to go to the box.
You do not see that every day.
Yeah, he grabbed onto the puck and waited for Reimer to get over towards him and then ditched it out to him. And the referee saw that, and he's now sitting in the box for 2.
So the rare 4-on-3. Northwood will have the extra attacker. Garber lets a shot go in and out of the glove of Traska. Got it in the webbing, but popped right out. There's a chance in front of the net. Pat save made. And Mott is able to lift it all the way out.
Yeah, Mott with a couple of great shifts on the PK so far in this game.
Strasky saucers it all the way down. That'll kill off some more time. In and out of the zone. James Seigman gets over the line. Strasky turns it over. Here's a shorthanded break to Calloway in on net. Scores! Keegan to Calloway ties it up at 1.
Oh, it's a beautiful pass after a beautiful play by DeCalloway. As we'll check it on the replay. He's the one that stepped up on this play here and immediately stretched the zone. I'm pretty certain it was Zaski that gave a nice saucer pass over to Calloway. He gave a few head fakes like he's Kaner and then puts it upstairs.
There's some momentum that the Bulldogs needed. A nice shot in the arm. Keegan DeCalloway tying things up at 1. And on a 4-on-3 short-handed kill. This has been an interesting one from the AIA. Nothing like Thursday night hockey in Adrian. McKellen drops it off. Now it's Crawford with a look. McKellen cross ice. They tipped it out of the way. Northwood still on a power play. Now, though, it's 5-on-4 for the next 33. Quick wrister. Traska with the save. The second one with the pad. Back to the top of the point. Crawford. Good soak on the shot by Jammer. Bulldogs can't clear it out of trouble. Jammer spinning, opening it up. And they'll send this all the way down. 15 seconds left. Remain on the power play. Mason leaving it behind his net for Asanawi. McLaughlin able to send it all the way down, and a successful kill for the Bulldogs. Exactly what the doctor ordered. Off the boards and out, it's Marley who will control it. His quick pass is turned over. Weidman with a nice soccer kick as he puts it over the line. Will chase back after it. Mott scraping the blue line. High shot blockered away by Mason. Normally those shots going over the head of goaltenders. Mason didn't even move. Northwood sent this the length of the ice. We have icing 5:57 left here in the first period. A tie game. Keegan DeCalloway with the shorthanded marker. We'll get our face-off to the right. Draw one and a quick point shot gloved up by Mason.
Anthony doing a smart move there just to hold on to the puck, as the Timberwolves were very tired at the time. I mean, they were needing that change desperately, and Mason Matthew is making the smart move.
Mins gets tossed from the circle. Hunter Allen right there, dancing with it along the boards. As Brow leveled as he let go of the puck. The physicality in our play still at an all-time high. Have to wonder how this becomes a factor into the game later on in the contest with all the hitting. As Allen is tangled down to the ice, official staring straight at it, and he's still getting speared. Couple of reverse hits there as Allen has some pressure from the front, takes a hit and gets sandwiched along the glass. Smith goes down low, shielding on the backhand, turns and fires. It gets blocked, and the Timberwolves will take the puck the other way. Slashing it is Smith. Smith's wrist shot gloved down by Matthew. Reimer gets bumped off the puck.
There's too many men on the ice.
Too many men on the ice. And you are right about that. Was trying to figure out what the commotion was on the bench for the Bulldogs. And then I started counting.
Well, it was actually Northwood that was starting to scream some player's name, just trying to get back, and I was so confused on what they were yelling at. And all of a sudden, I just started counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's too many. So
simple math, right?
Yeah.
Simple math.
Back to the math thing. Oh my! But what an opportunity though for the Bulldogs here. I mean, this first period has been a little bit rough for them, but they're able to tie it up, and now they have a chance to go up ahead.
Zatsky holding on to the blue line. Gathers at center. Shifts to his right, goes down low for DeCalloway, who redistributes back to Zaski. His wrist shot blockered away by Matthew. The backhand clears the zone and tumbles down the ice as Traska power slides towards the puck and leaves it for the big man in Zaski. Zaski to Jammer. Has DeCalloway on the far left wing. Tries to get through his man in Blankenship. As we have some contact on the wing. Puck stolen from Smith. Gajewski thought it was dumped out of the zone quicker. Had already turned away. DeCalloway outside of the dot. Ran into the boards. Now underneath the red line. Fires up the wall. Zaski, his shot gets tipped wide. Gajewski will head forward, and it's cleared. 60 seconds gone by in the power play.
Yeah, it was a good play there by Gooley there. Left on the stick of Gajewski, and a quick turnaround clear. And 4 new Timberwolves out there for the PK.
You know, I'm really curious to see if both coaches, after the end of the first period, get some talking to from the officials, because there's definitely been some questionable plays on both sides of the ice. And in order to police the game, sometimes you have to let the bench bosses know. We have 30 seconds left in our 5-on-4 power play for Adrian College. Mins up top for Reimer, takes a look, a backhand. McLaughlin winds up off the pad of Matthew. The rebound chance followed up. There's another one. Blocked. Reimer distributes. Turin stuffs it in the back of the net. Power play goal, Dogs. It's 2-1.
And what a smart move there by Reimer there. I mean, he fake shot the whole way. He's sitting there all by himself. And Matthew bites and turns there for the backdoor tap. And Dogs capitalized on the opportunity. And from a rough 1-0 deficit, they're up by 1 now.
Dogs able to bounce back here in the first period. As you mentioned, not the ideal start for them by any means, but leading in the shot column 14-7, and now the goal column as well, 2-1. I'm sure the leadership group will try and calm down some of the nerves heading into the second period during their break in the locker room. Nye gloves this down out of midair and makes his trek towards the crease. No option for him as far as a route to the puck, and now a 3-on-1. Here's a chance in front, tipped wide at the last second. That could have been danger for Adrian.
Yeah, Marley with a fantastic back check. So he had finally back there and just barely got a stick on it.
DeCalloway 1-on-1. Already has a goal today, but not that time. Another penalty on the play, and this is going to go against Hunter Allen. Roughing call. I didn't see anything behind the play. I was looking over to our right, but man, oh man, we've had penalties galore in this first period.
Yeah, I mean, especially if a roughing penalty behind the play, you never want that, especially when you have all the momentum, too. I mean, now you give an opportunity for the Timberwolves to tie this game up before going into the second period.
Jammer is able to get to the puck first as he lifts it all the way down the ice. So we have a 5-on-4 power play chance. This is rimmed around left to right. Todorovic will gather it up. And again, the Bulldogs will fly it all the way down. Matthew playing it on his backhand. Slowly leaves it off for James Sigmund. Dump and chase set up for the Timberwolves as we're underneath a minute to play in the first period. Quick shot, tipped off the stick of McLaughlin, sent into the protective netting.
Yeah, it's another good step up. Seen a couple of them from the defense from Adrian on the PK. Honor with a few of them as well in the first couple of power plays.
Tie up on the draw and handcuffed in the corner. Adrian will try and take off as much time as possible. Crawford just barely keeping this in over the line. And tipped out. Here's to Callaway looking for another shorthanded bid. He's able to work it free, 1-on-2 now. Pulls up and jostled off the puck as he just tries to kick it into the boards, and ultimately it squeaks free. Jammer will head after it. Mott fakes the backhand, goes forehand. Traffic in front of the net, slid on top as this is whistled for a hand pass.
Yeah, puck, Motter and another Northwood forward behind the net.
Did he throw it?
Chipped at that puck, and then it went to the front of the net, and McLaughlin grabbed it and then tossed it back to Motter. And when Motter touched it, that was a hand pass.
11.9 left in the first. Weidman winds up and blasts it all the way down, which will just about do it here in the first period. Bulldogs leading this game 2-1 off a shorthanded goal and a power play goal. Special teams, special plays as we get through the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, they really bounced back after the first 5 minutes were all Northwood, really. They were able to put the pressure on, and that's what you kind of get when you've never played a team before. You don't really know what to expect out of this Northwood Timberwolves squad. And they brought the energy. I mean, you saw right away all the hits that happened. It was all Northwood, and Adrian able to weather the storm, only letting up one, and they're able to come back in this one, and they're up 2-1 right now.
Yeah, and I think you have to give credit to the Timberwolves because they started this game very prepared, and it showed. They were hitting hard early on. They scored the first goal of the game, and they were giving problems for the Bulldogs until they could really get their feet under them and kind of recollect the whole team on the bench as they jumped out to their 1-goal lead, but 2 goals in total. As we'll look at our scoring summary from the first 20, was Alex Bedenko, his 3rd of the year at 4:39. Keegan DeCalloway gets the shorthanded tying goal at 12:20. And then some 5 minutes later, Mateo Turin from Eli Reimer and Caleb Mins on the power play, which is where we have our score sitting now. I'm curious to hear what you think is going to be said in the locker room for the Bulldogs, because definitely that was a sloppy start, and the Bulldogs have a lot more to prove and a lot more to show, as we know.
I think it's going to be just a little bit of let's calm down. Like, we understand what they're doing now. They stretch their forwards every single time they get the opportunity to. You know what their game plan is, and now you kind of have to take advantage of it. You are still up by 1, even though you had a little bit of a rougher period. You're just going to adapt, chillax, and get ready to finish this game off in the next 40.
Bulldogs with a 2-1 lead as we finish out the first period and get a resurfacing on the ice. We're going to step aside for the first period intermission. Bulldogs up 2-1 as we head to the second. Alex Herman and Tyler Ackerman, you're watching Bulldog Hockey on ACTV.
You stand today, students, on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth, introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time that you will always look back on as special years. Never experienced before you arrived today, and never replicated after you graduate.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
This is the Arrington Bookstore at Adrian College, the place to get game day ready, represent your clubs and organizations, and be Bulldog proud. With a wide selection of merchandise and a smile at every visit, stop by inside the Kane Student Center to pick up your Adrian College wares and make it another great day to be a Bulldog.
Welcome to Adrian, Michigan. We're located in a proud college town. Adrian College is situated just 45 minutes from Ann Arbor, Detroit, and Toledo. We're very excited to show you just a little bit of what AC has to offer. This is the gateway to our campus. Welcome to the place that we believe will change the rest of your life. AC features one of the most well-rounded educational experiences in the country. We offer over 60 different academic majors and 10 academic institutes, as well as dozens of student organizations. Year after year, we've been ranked as one of the nation's best colleges, including being one of the most innovative institutions in the U.S. for our medical programs. Our campus is simply beautiful. Our student-to-faculty ratio is an incredible 13-to-1. That means more attention for you and a much better overall learning environment. We know how to put together an education that is life-changing, and these are just some of the highlights. From our communication arts program, to our many performing arts, to the home of business on campus, to our sciences and medical studies, we have the spaces where you can grow into the professional that you want to become. Our first-year student experience is award-winning. You'll make lifelong friends here, meet mentors, and maybe even meet that special someone. The Kane Student Center is open 24 hours a day, and there's a lot going on here. The Bulldog Beanery has all of your hot drinks. Pause and Go is our on-campus convenience store. The bookstore is where you'll get all of your Bulldog gear, and you can just hang out and study in the skyboxes. Not far away is the Shipman Library. The Shipman has quiet, relaxing spaces for you to study in. You can check out books from thousands of libraries around the country, and the Shipman is open 24 hours as well for your convenience. There are hundreds of learning opportunities on campus. In addition to the arts and beautiful facilities, Adrian College is known for its athletic programs. There is nothing like a Saturday game day here in Adrian. The Bulldog football team are 11-time MIAA champions. At Docking Stadium, fans watch soccer, lacrosse, football, and more. Just a few hundred yards away, Adrian College's basketball teams compete. In addition to basketball, fans can enjoy wrestling, acro and tumbling, and volleyball here. We also have a state-of-the-art weight room available to all of our students. When things heat up too much on campus, you can cool off with our ice sports. Our NCAA ice hockey teams are constantly battling in the national playoffs. Just a quick walk down the service drive, we feature one of the best baseball and softball programs in the nation at our level. Soon you'll be able to cross the street and watch men's and women's rugby take to the pitch as well. Our rowing, crew, and top-ranked bass fishing programs compete out of the Adrian College Boathouse, a gorgeous facility just a 15-minute drive north on Devil's Lake. Our students know how to relax in their downtime. When they're not out and about, we have dozens of housing options on campus. With apartments right in the mix of things, you can pick what works best for you. We've also recently renovated a few of our housing options. Adrian College is a Methodist-affiliated institution that has been changing lives since 1859. The modern liberal arts education offered by our faculty is unrivaled. We can't wait to have you on campus and show you around. Visit adrian.edu to schedule a full campus visit today. We'll see you soon.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Morgan, the current student government president here at Adrian College. I chose Adrian College because of the campus size. Campus feels like a fun, energetic community where everyone knows each other. If you want to see what Adrian has to offer for you, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
You have earned the right to be here through endless nights of studying, testing, writing, and dedication to learning. The diploma you will receive symbolizes your efforts and distinguishes you as a highly educated person, learned in the arts and sciences, and prepared for a life of achievement and great accomplishment.
Now, as you face...
Welcome back inside Arrington Ice Arena. Fresh sheet of ice for the Bulldogs and the Timberwolves. Thursday night hockey here at the AIA. Alex Herman and Tyler Ackerman up here in the booth. Happy to have you all rejoin us here on ACTV for the second period of action. And this ACHA D1 tilts. 2-1 our score for those of you tuning in just now. An early goal from Alex Bedenko. A shorthanded goal from Keegan DeCalloway, and Mateo Turin on the power play. 20 minutes on the score clock. Puck is dropped, and we're underway once again at the AIA. 7 seconds left of power play time to kick off this frame for Northwood, as Mott is able to take care of business and send this puck all the way down the ice. We're back to 5-on-5 play. And that was a close call there for the Bulldogs. That almost was too many men on the ice as they were in the middle of a change, but an icing call to stop things for the first time 23 seconds into the second period.
A lot different than the first. We didn't have our first whistle until about 4 minutes in. Oh, nice to get a quick whistle. That was almost too many men because Allen was actually coming from the box, so it's kind of funny if he got called for too many men as he was trying to get back from the box.
There's Justin Jammer over the line, goes cross ice and pickpocketed. Now an odd man chance for Northwood. Trying to send it into the slot. That was James Seidman that had it taken away from him. Reimer had to wait for Jammer to get on sides, as ultimately he fires it into the corner. Jammer with a nice feed for Reimer, just a couple of steps too far in front of him, and it's Matthew who will cover up. Talked a little bit about the physicality in the first period. Seen some pushes and shoves so far. Of course, still very curious to see how that carries through for the rest of the game. So shot down to the opposite end of the ice. And we'll restart the play.
Seen a couple of times already so far in this second period. It's just a stretching of the weak side winger for the Timberwolves, trying to catch Adrian College defenseman sleeping. And that was kind of what that 2-on-1 was created out of. It was a stretch play that was a turnover in the middle of the ice and another opportunity for Northwood.
There's a speeding play, a rebound in front of the net. Sam Asanawi had a golden opportunity to stuff that in the back of the net. Just didn't quite have the timing right. DeCalloway 2-on-2 with Turn in the middle, tries to go inside and out and is shut down. Long stretch pass to the opposite blue line. As dancing with it now is Asanawi, drops it off. Here's a wrist shot in front, and it's turned over. 3-on-2 now developing. Up the ice come the Bulldogs. Turin from a sharp angle will walk around the zone. Tried to throw it in front of the net and once again turned over. Puck playing pinball between these two sides. This is high sticked out of midair. And the officials see it. They'll call it. 17:41 left to go here in the second.
And we had for about a minute a little track race there. Going back and forth, 3-on-2s from either side. Really no shots on net besides Traska having to make a couple of saves.
Brow, his wrist shot off the end wall. Mins giving chase to the puck as Allen swoops in for support. Nifty move there. The rebound off the pad. Matthew lost the rebound as it's sent back to the point. Brow has to shovel it back deep into the zone. Allen dishes outwards for Mins. Puck clanks off the glass. Turning and spinning is Allen. Now it's Brow. Here's Marley in the slot off a shin pad in front. That was Schur who stepped in the lane. Offsides is call as Marley got over the blue line. I think there was a changing Bulldog on the bench.
It was Mins who still had his right skate still on the ice there. Unfortunate chance, but that line was cooking there for a little bit. Good works, a couple of grade A chances right in front of Matthew, but he made a couple of great saves.
Mont will flip it into the zone. As it's stopped along the wall. Mont again doing a great job up at the blue line. One of the veteran defensemen for this Adrian College squad in his senior year with AC. Nye dumps this in. Touched up as Weidman gets to it first. Back to the blue line. Wrist shot off the stick of Matthew. Might have caught a piece of it as he deflected it wide. Rotating backhand. Mont has to look up to the rafters as that puck is sent way up there and caught up into the steel plating of the AIA.
That's a little bit more of what we expected out of Adrian this second period so far. The relentless forecheck, which we saw all throughout the Trine couple of games, has been just hounding the Timberwolves defense, not being able to make any clean plays, and a couple of turnovers, great opportunities for them. I expect a few more here in the next 16 minutes.
Deadlock in the corner. Nobody can kick it loose. Croston comes out with it. There's a shot from Todorovic. And it's gloved down from Traska, his first action in some time.
It was a good glove save by him. Todorovic having a chance there. Just picking that one up out of the feet of a Bulldog and a Timberwolf. Right at the top of the circles, really, in the middle of the ice. Trying to go upstairs on Traska.
Milos Todorovic, of course, we talked about a little bit earlier on in the first period. A former NCAA Division III player. Was actually in the NCHA conference, which is what our NCAA Division III team plays in. Last season, 30 games played, 11 goals, 31 assists for 42 points on his 24-25 campaign. Second on the team in points. Somebody you definitely have to look out for. DeCalloway picking up speed. Cuts from right to left. Bumped off the puck. And helping out, once again, that's Todorovic. Toth to Turin. Lets a shot go. It's blocked hard and down in some pain is Zach McCarthy. Well, that's how you wear one like a hockey player. Jaski on the backhand, distributes to Toth. Tried to muscle it out of the zone, but couldn't quite get all of it. Reimer, a back pass to Toth. Bumps it. This is lost in between the hash marks. Zaski will chop it all the way down. Jammer using his speed to wave off the icing. He'll kick it out from in between some feet. Smith looking for options as he didn't quite have anything there. Deep part of the blue line. Strasky keeps it in and punches back to the right corner. Brow, sharp angle shot, and holding on is Matthew. Looked like that one definitely caught him by surprise.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to get down into the ice if you're sitting at 6'7". I mean, especially in a sharp angle shot that you don't really expect. And Matthew didn't expect that one at all, and you kind of see of a reaction. He was kind of just sitting in his net almost, ensuring that puck was out of there.
Of course, we don't have the official height confirmed, but Mason Matthews somewhere in the 6'6" to 6'7" range. Definitely a lot taller on skates.
It gives him a couple of extra inches there on skates.
You think of big goaltenders at the professional level. First one that comes to mind, Ben Bishop. Also wore some blue colors in his time in the NHL.
Yeah.
It's one thing about hockey and all sports in general that you cannot teach. Cannot teach height.
He was born with it, really.
Smith dancing his way around the O zone. Saucers for Mott. He'll open up. His wrist shot just whistles wide. Smith trying to get off the ice. And Northwood wanted a penalty for too many men. There was a tie-up in front of the bench. Almost got caught there. Mins with some good forechecking. But it's turned over the other way. A long drive from center ice. Sticked aside by Traska. Slapped hard all the way through the neutral zone. And Mins deflected it through his legs, just barely on net of where Matthew was. This is going to be called down against the Bulldogs, a hooking call. They'll head back to the PK.
Yeah, Allen was trying just to lift the stick up of the Timberwolves defender, but I think he just slightly got in the hands, and I mean, Timberwolves went down really quick. And I think that's what you kind of see out there from the frustration from Allen, as he thought he didn't really do much, and it's kind of almost another embellishment call like we saw in the first period.
And not for nothing, but the orange banded official who was in the neutral zone made that call that was in the far corner, whereas the other orange banded official was standing right there in the play.
He was turned around, though.
Was he?
Yeah, he was turned around. He didn't see it. I think that's also a factor, too. I mean, I think that official possibly that was there, if he was turned and looked at the play, could have realized that, hey, like he was just on his stick and maybe it was kind of a soft call.
Stangling goes across the way. Croston, a give and go. Drops it back for Sigmund. Now it's off for Stangling. His shot patted away by Traska, puts the goalie paw on top of it. And we'll get the freeze for the whistle.
Yeah, he had the paddle down that whole entire time, making sure Northwood didn't try to go 5-hole on him up short. And he was able to block it and then quickly glove it down to get a whistle, and 4 new fresh PK killers for the Dogs.
Minute and 34 left on the power play. This goes D to D and back to the top of the triangle. Asanawi lets a shot go, soaked by the skate of Justin Jammer. Long wrist shot, tipped on net. No dice on the deflection. As Crawford carried it over the blue line, and it's called for offsides. We'll take our face-off in the neutral zone.
Yeah, that's one that's really scary when you're playing a diamond on the PK, is that sometimes you can lose the guy backdoor, and it's that weak side forward's responsibility to guard basically 2 people. As a lesser of 2 evils, normally you choose the backdoor guy. There, Jamer kind of got a little bit lost and gave an opportunity for Northwood, but they weren't able to take advantage of it.
In reverse are the Timberwolves. They cycle on 3 backhand passes. Now heading downhill is Badenko. Around the boards, Northwood having some difficulty setting up in the offensive zone.
You never really want to rim it around on the power play, and they did it twice there, and it was just easy pickings for DeCallaway there, just to tip it right out of the zone.
Turin with a nice stick to try and steal it, pops it loose. Jammer tries to head after it. McClellan again around the boards. Zaski back the opposite way. Toth on one knee, stops it in front, now to the top of the circle. Croston's shot, soaked in front again. So carry over the line, 3 seconds left. And the Bulldogs have killed off the 2-minute minor. Hard off the glass. Hunter Allen, fresh out of the box, in on net, and just put it wide. Looked like he had an angle, and a follow-up drive from Turin is held in the chest by Matthew.
Allen, quick speed out of him, quick acceleration to get around the Timberwolves defender and try to go across the blue crease. But when you're 6'6", you have the length to be able to block that off.
No, I thought that Allen had stuffed it on the backhand. Maybe some elevation and a little bit more of an angle on the shot would have done him better, but hopefully he can get it back at some point. Had a couple of goals last week. Quick breakout from the Timberwolves. And speeding is Lucas Nyes. Definitely this period, Timberwolves having some difficulty with just holding on to possession in their offensive zone, which wasn't necessarily a problem in the first for them. Here's Cash Reagan. Weidman is over the line, and it's offsides. Bulldogs definitely do not like that one.
And negates a 2-on-1 chance for the Bulldogs. I mean, a grade A opportunity. I think Northwood is stepping a little bit too much with their defensemen, and the forwards for Adrian are able to get around them and cause on-man rushes going the other way.
There's a rush from Northwood as it's dumped in. Mott dishes outwards, flipped, and smart play from McCarthy to drop down on two knees. Able to get in the way of that puck. McLaughlin to Mott. Now a short pass for Jammer. Reimer, who will cut left to right. And he's just stopped short of his approach. Bedanko, a couple of stick handles, losing it off his blade. Smith as well, having some difficulty playing that puck. We'll head all the way down as McLaughlin able to win the race. It stopped for icing. 9:07 left to go in the second period. Alex Herman, Tyler Ackerman up here in the booth. Bulldogs and Timberwolves. Thursday night hockey at the AIA.
And notice last couple of times that Northwood has dumped the puck in, their forecheck has not been able to hit home like they did in the first period.
Allen with a couple of nice moves. His short shot gets rotated wide. Allen again stepping up into the fight with a nice hit in front. Poke to the top. Toth has a fluttering slap shot that goes over the head of Matthew. Again, it's Cyrus Toth who keeps it in. Rebound chance in the paint, covered up. Matthew had it. Hit off the top of his shoulder on the initial chance, and we get some more pushing and shoving.
And two Bulldogs there to one Timberwolf in front of the net. Great opportunity again as Bulldogs just applying pressure. I mean, that line of Mims, Marley, and Allen doing great work so far in this second period.
Errant pass as it's turned over. Northwood looking for an opportunity to even up the game. Toth and Croston certainly going at it on the wall. They finally separate. As this is ahead of Gajewski. Ground ball fielded by Toth. Shot it down, and icing once again will stop. 8:04 left in the second.
He was trying to hit Turin there. Stretch pass and just got a little bit too much of it. The draw goes all the way back to the right of Traska.
This is going to be icing as Turin taking a tumble. Matthew had to get out of the way. And interesting when you look at these two benches, you have on one side the Bulldogs all standing. And on the other side, everyone's sitting for Northwood. Bulldogs always a lively bunch, so it doesn't surprise me that they have every player on their feet. Jump on the draw as it's to Calloway stepping in. Good soak from Turin as it clanked off his shin pad. And some friendly fire there from James Seigman on his own bench.
I'm going to say head coach because all the kids are sitting down, like you mentioned earlier.
Here's a quick pickup by Asanawe. Now it's Brandon Nye's turn to lead the rush. Weidman. Good pass in front, losing it in between the feet. That was Cash Reigen, and I believe he's going to get called here.
Yeah, he slashed at the end of the play, but I would call for another embellishment, honestly. Like, there's a slash to the feet, and I don't know who it was for Northwood, but they jumped into the air before falling on the ground. And it's clear as day that you can just kind of tell that Northwood is realizing that they're getting the calls right now, and they're taking advantage of it.
Well, play to your strengths is always a big one. As a good shot block from Strasky. Dead angle shot, patted away by Traska. And an important power play beyond the halfway point here in the second period. Up top, Crawford waits, shadowed by Weidman. That was Asanawe who sent the shot off. Hill deflected in front, just put wide. Traska was on his back. Open cage for Northwood. Point shot stopped by Traska. Timberwolves hold on to it. McClellan opens up, drops it back. Now it's Bedenko. His wrist shot deflected in front. Turnaround chance. That one blocked as well. Bulldogs stepping up. One-time drive. Not enough muscle. Strasky tries to tip it out, but he puts it on his own goaltender. And Peyton Traska, who is ready. 45 seconds left on the power play, and Northwood can't handle it. They'll have to restart, so a full line change out for the Timberwolves. There's a quick shot, stopped. And was it offsides or too many men?
I think it was offsides. They had players changing in the zone. But again, you saw that backdoor play happen once again. That's what happens when you're in a box. And in a diamond, you don't have that backdoor defenseman like you would have in a box on the PK to stop that backdoor, and that's what Northwood's currently trying to take advantage of. And you saw the play there, and they were Adrian lucky that it was missed net because it was wide open.
30 seconds left on the power play for Northwood. Hitting the brakes is Croston. Hands it off for Sigmund. Takes a tumble. DeCalloway almost stole it from him. Sigmund lucky that he recovered. To Dorovic. Gives it out. There's a quick shot. Blocked in front. Nobody knew where it was for a second. 7 seconds remain on the odd man advantage. Outside angle shot. Tipped away. It's gloved and kept in. Bulldogs get back to full strength. Mott eats one in front. Maybe a break for Reagan. Out of the box. Here's Reagan. In on that backhand. Just goes wide. Looked like the puck was rolling on edge as he went to go release it. This is flipped through the neutral zone. Gets behind the feet of Blankenship. As it spun around the boards. Long drive from the point. This will give some space for Smith. They elected to pass to Jammer instead. Reimer spun around on his entry. Smith backhands one through traffic. No angle for that puck. Reimer shielding. Backhand pass for Smith. A good look at the net. What a move from Smith, and he scores! How about that from the captain?
And he's had this puck on a string this whole game so far. And this one he goes around, and usually he goes on the outside, but this time he cuts in the middle, right down Broadway, and chooses a spot right over the right pad and under the blocker of Matthew. And the Dogs needed another goal for insurance, and they got one. 3-1.
That is a friendly helper from Captain Sebastian Smith, working his magic. Under 4 to play. Here in the second period, and one of our scoreboards turned off there for a second. Still have the one on overhead. Zastrasky, who just decides to take his time. Brow's backhand is canceled out. It's Croston who sent it in on net towards Trask, who just decided to stop play.
And I think Allen was telling him to hold there as the Bulldogs were kind of struggling to get out of the zone, getting a little bit tired, so Trask making the right play and just holding on to the puck to get a fresh 5 out there.
Stangelin, quick shot off the draw. And snapped out of midair by Traska.
He had a good jump there right off the draw. Able to win that one back, and quick shot. Good save.
Temple, a point shot. Bounced around for a second as it's repossessed by Gajewski. Heavy slap shot. Traska thought it was going one way, still made the save nonetheless. Mott flutters the puck out. Turin, toe drag shot into the body. Matthew will hold on, 2:45 left.
Overall, good period so far for the Bulldogs. And Northwood still applying some of the pressure. Traska having to make a couple of great saves. Well, good opportunities as well.
Whoa, official taking a tumble there. My goodness.
He called that one and then tried to turn around and he just ate it.
Sure he'll Get some friendly chirps from the Bulldog bench. I don't know if that was on camera or not, but we saw it. Never a dull moment at the AIA. This takes an awkward kick and is sent all the way out. Mott is racing back as he's the first back to play it. Good pass, connects with Weidman. His shot in and out of the glove of Matthew will pick up his own rebound, trying to send it towards the slot. It bounces around. Reagan fights for it. It comes up empty-handed. Toe drag move from Defani. Mott laces a pass for Turin, who picks up the boots, makes a nice move in on net. No shot for him. Nice stick play from Blankenship. Weidman around the boards, looking for Turin, who is in front. Gajewski off a shin pad. Now a breakaway chance. This is going to be a trip, no doubt about that. And it's going to be a penalty shot. See, now, here's the only problem that I have with that. It is a trip, no doubt about it, and it should be a penalty. But number 3 in Samuel Asanawi never was close to being in a shooting motion. And for there to be a penalty shot, you have to be in the zone on a breakaway and tripped up as you go to shoot. And I think instead they're going to change their mind and just make it a 2-minute minor. But he did throw up the X.
Yeah, he did. I think he quickly changed his mind just based off of what you were talking about. It was a smart move, honestly, by Toth. I mean, he lost the battle, and he realized it was going to be a breakaway, and he'd rather just take the penalty because the Dogs have been great on the kill.
Croston shifts to his right. Stengline lets one go off the pad. The rebound in the crease just goes wide. 2 saves from Traska in a tight area. Bobbled around for a moment. Northwood able to recover. Some nifty moves from Todorovic. Sliding. And DeCallie with the tabletop and a nice shot block from Nye. Absolutely wears that one. And he clears it down. He's going to get some pats on the back once he gets back to the bench. That one definitely looked like it hurt.
And he sprawled out all for it.
Croston moves it, held into the corner. Asanawi, who drew the penalty, gave it away for McClellan. Crawford back for McClellan. 7 seconds left. Maybe one more shot and a nice stick from Weidman. They try and drive for it. Mott is sliding around. And shot blocks for the Bulldogs save them there at the end of the period. 31 seconds will still remain on the Northwood power play. But the Bulldogs heading into the third period of regulation play up by a pair. It's 3-1 after 40.
Yeah, what I love to see is just the effort. I mean, usually you see those sprawling shot blocks in a championship game or a winner-go-home type of scenario. It's the third game of the regular season, and you're doing that. I mean, this locker room is all for that championship mindset. And those shot blocks are huge, especially when you're taking a ton of penalties so far that we've seen throughout this game. I gave many chances for Northwood, but they've had their opportunities on the power play. A couple of great backdoor looks. No dice for sure. And exactly how you mentioned it, Bulldogs stay up by 2.
I think it goes to show those shot blocks definitely with some hustle and team effort. A good response really from that first period, which was not great. But now you're up by 2, things going well. Only thing that I can really think of for the Dogs, maybe just try and be a little bit more disciplined. Got to stay out of the box here. No hits after the whistle, no slashes. Got to stay out of the scrums because it's very clear that the officiating staff tonight will call it if they see it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to what you were mentioning at the beginning of how physical this play has been and what the referees are going to do to kind of just tone it down and take control. And that's what we've kind of seen so far, is that they're going to call anything really. And especially when you're up by 2, the last thing you want to do is let a team back into the game by taking a few penalties and giving opportunities and momentum really back in favor of Northwood. So you got 30 seconds left on the penalty kill that one off, and then focus on having a clean 20 to end off this game.
3-1 our score after 40 minutes of play. Bulldogs leading this one, and we'll need a strong third period to try and close it out here from the AIA. We'll take a step aside for our second period intermission and return with the third in a few. Alex Herman and Tyler Ackerman. You're watching Bulldog Hockey on ACTV.
You stand today, students, on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth, introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time that you will always look back on as special years, never experienced before you arrive today, and never replicated after you graduate.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
This is the Arrington Bookstore at Adrian College, the place to get game day ready, represent your clubs and organizations, and be Bulldog proud. With a wide selection of merchandise and a smile at every visit, stop by inside the Kane Student Center to pick up your Adrian College wares and make it another great day to be a Bulldog.
Welcome to Adrian, Michigan. We're located in a proud college town. Adrian College is situated just 45 minutes from Ann Arbor, Detroit, and Toledo. We're very excited to show you just a little bit of what AC has to offer. This is the gateway to our campus. Welcome to the place that we believe will change the rest of your life. AC features one of the most well-rounded educational experiences in the country. We offer over 60 different academic majors and 10 academic institutes, as well as dozens of student organizations. Year after year, we've been ranked as one of the nation's best colleges, including being one of the most innovative institutions in the U.S. for our medical programs. Our campus is simply beautiful. Our student-to-faculty ratio is an incredible 13-to-1. That means more attention for you and a much better overall learning environment. We know how to put together an education that is life-changing, and these are just some of the highlights. From our communication arts program, to our many performing arts, to the home of business on campus, to our sciences and medical studies, we have the spaces where you can grow into the professional that you want to become. Our first-year student experience is award-winning. You'll make lifelong friends here, meet mentors, and maybe even meet that special someone. The Kane Student Center is open 24 hours a day, and there's a lot going on here. The Bulldog Beanery has all of your hot drinks. Pause and Go is our on-campus convenience store. The bookstore is where you'll get all of your Bulldog gear, and you can just hang out and study in the skyboxes. Not far away is the Shipman Library. The Shipman has quiet, relaxing spaces for you to study in. You can check out books from thousands of libraries around the country, and the Shipman is open 24 hours as well for your convenience. There are hundreds of learning opportunities on campus. In addition to the arts and beautiful facilities, Adrian College is known for its athletic programs. There is nothing like a Saturday game day here in Adrian. The Bulldog football team are 11-time MIAA champions. At Docking Stadium, fans watch soccer, lacrosse, football, and more. Just a few hundred yards away, Adrian College's basketball teams compete. In addition to basketball, fans can enjoy wrestling, acro and tumbling, and volleyball here. We also have a state-of-the-art weight room available to all of our students. When things heat up too much on campus, you can cool off with our ice sports. Our NCAA ice hockey teams are constantly battling in the national playoffs. Just a quick walk down the service drive, we feature one of the best baseball and softball programs in the nation at our level. Soon you'll be able to cross the street and watch men's and women's rugby take to the pitch as well. Our rowing, crew, and top-ranked bass fishing programs compete out of the Adrian College Boathouse, a gorgeous facility just a 15-minute drive north on Devil's Lake. Our students know how to relax in their downtime. When they're not out and about, we have dozens of housing options on campus. With apartments right in the mix of things, you can pick what works best for you. We've also recently renovated a few of our housing options. Adrian College is a Methodist-affiliated institution that has been changing lives since 1859. The modern liberal arts education offered by our faculty is unrivaled. We can't wait to have you on campus and show you around. Visit adrian.edu to schedule a full campus visit today. We'll see you soon.
I'm Aubrey Morgan, the current student government president here at Adrian College. I chose Adrian College because of the campus size. Campus feels like a fun, energetic community where everyone knows each other. If you want to see what Adrian has to offer for you, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
You have earned the right to be here through endless nights of studying, testing, writing, and dedication to learning. The diploma you will receive symbolizes your efforts and distinguishes you as a highly educated person, learned in the arts and sciences, and prepared for a life of achievement and great accomplishment.
Now, as you face the world outside this academic haven, the concept of courage must not be left behind in your textbooks. It should be as alive in you today as your ambition to change the world for the better.
We were all born to be a Bulldog. Life drew us to this.
Welcome back inside the Arrington Ice Arena. Third period about to start. Our score 3-1. It's the Northwood University Timberwolves and your Adrian College Bulldogs. Alex Herman and Tyler Ackerman up here in the booth. Happy to have you all rejoin us here on ACTV. A solid period for the Bulldogs. Definitely had a lot of penalty trouble. But as far as scoring is concerned, they're doing everything right.
Yeah, they really are. They're taking advantage of the opportunities that they have. And they're up by 2, so the aim of the game is just don't let anything up.
30 seconds still left in the Northwood power play as puck is dropped and we resume play at the AIA. Timberwolves looking to set up shop. Here's a quick wrister in on net as Traska will cover that one up.
The main thing there is that he got to see that puck all the way through. Usually on the power play for Northwood, they have a couple of guys in front, but that time they didn't. So he saw that one on the way right into his glove.
This is a skyrocketing shot. Never even touched the ice until the glass. Toe drag move, soft shot on nets. And we're back to even strength, 5-on-5 play. This will carry all the way down as Matthew comes out of his crease to stop it. Chopped away by Brow. Jammer with some physicality along the glass. Jammer to Reimer. Skates his way in on net. Goes to one hand. Still holding on to it. Has Smith with him for support. Chipped up the boards for Strasky. He puts it into the soft corner. Reimer going one way and turning the other. Lunging through traffic was Garber as he's shut down. Turnover chance. Wrist shot stopped. The rebound there as Traska was on his back. Got caught up with Strasky, and that could have been disaster for the Bulldogs. But a nice save and good defensive positioning from AC. Reimer muscled off the puck by the strength of Asanawe. Smith chopping it back around the yellow kick plate. To the corner is March as it's rolled up into the netting. 18:06 left to go in the third period.
Yeah, that whole entire play happened because Brow wasn't necessarily looking at the middle of the ice, and he gave a backhand pass trying to go across the ice and didn't see a shrieking Timberwolf who cut that one off, and Traska had to make a couple of nice saves.
Paddled down by Matthew as he moved it over for March. That puck a little bit too far ahead of Croston as this is stopped for icing.
Zasky giving a whack at the end of the play there. Intrigued on what Adrian College bench and what the locker room was looking like when it came to penalties in the second intermission. Like, kind of what was the message between the unnecessary penalties as well, because that's kind of costed the Bulldogs a little bit of offense throughout the second period.
Marley, in the process of making his hit, forced the puck to pop up in the air. That was Stangline, who was crunched into the wall. So our face-off was on the right side. Now it's to our left. Going to get a redo on the face-off here. Not really sure why. Maybe somebody jumped early.
Beats me.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. So Todorovic is replaced in the circle by Stangline. He was able to win the faceoff. 3-on-2 in the corner. Just rolls over the line. Sent to the top, bouncing around. Zaski couldn't caress it. Turning and firing. Still pinballs around, and Matthew will put the glove down. Hunter Allen with some action after the whistle. Getting reacquainted with Zach McCarthy.
I would like to see the Bulldogs kind of getting this puck deep a little bit more. They've had it on the blue line in that great zone area and have kind of just played with it a little bit too much. Kind of hear from the bench to say, just get it deep, get it deep, get it deep. Because the problem is if that puck's turned over, Northwood has the speed to go on a breakaway and a great opportunity for them.
Outstretched pass. Sigmund has it. Rolled off of his blade, and Traska in the process making a save. Gajewski shooting it through a gap. As he'll get back to it. Fans on his wrist shot. Here come the Timberwolves 3-on-2. Knocked off the stick. McLaughlin bumped it away from Dufaney. Off the boards and down. Gajewski turning on the end wall. Turin lets it go. And it's offsides.
Yeah, he just made one extra move on the blue line, trying to cut to the middle. Callaway was already going to try to cut through the middle to create that 2-on-1. And that's the reason for the offsides.
Neutral zone draw, kicked back. Strasky with a pass to Nye. As he's able to dump it in, whipped around the boards. Strasky catches, flips it low, and trying to stick it out of midair was Brow. Turning pass. Change in possession as March will move it back low. Glancing out, it'll clear to the neutral zone. Strasky across the ice for Brow. Back for Strasky. Strasky to Nye. So it is back turned to the play. Crunched by March along the wall. Oh, and a hard hit there. And we have a player down behind the play. Here's a leading rush by Gooley. And we're going to have to stop play here. And that was a scary collision. As down in some pain was Alex Blankenship. He got tripped up and smacked his head pretty hard against the boards. I certainly hope that he's okay. The officials, I don't think, saw what was going on. And he's definitely going to get checked out there. Ooh, scary scenes you don't want to see.
No, I think, and it was about like 4 or 5 feet away from the boards, and Reagan kind of just gave that like initial nudge, and I don't think Blankenship was realizing that was going to happen to him. I think he didn't realize that Reagan was there at all, and it kind of just got his feet taken out from underneath him. not in a slew foot style at all, but nothing you want to see at all head first into the boards.
I don't think there was any tripping intent there. Of course, he did trip on the play. But, man, especially when you make contact with the end wall that hard, helmet or no helmet, it's not a good feeling. So hopefully Blankenship is all right and is able to return to this game. Reimer gets his stick slashed out of his hands by McCarthy, and this will draw a call. Not what you want if you're the Northwood bench. But the Bulldogs back to the power play. 15:27 left to go here in the third period.
Yeah. I mean, that's just an easy call to make. Yeah, take the stick out of Reimer's hands. He didn't even have the puck. He was actually trying to go around him, and easy call and another opportunity for the Bulldogs to extend their lead.
McCarthy coming back to the box, wiping his cage off with his hands, maybe signaling towards the officials that they didn't see something. Maybe he was saying he couldn't see something. Maybe he thought he was John Cena and saying, "You can't see me." We'll never know.
Yeah, never seen that one before at all. And most of the time, the referee will chop at him and he'll say some words to him, but that gesture I've never ever seen.
Bulldogs to the power play. 30 seconds gone already. Gajewski's saucer pass gets through to Zaski. Let a half shot go, but it was stopped before the net. Gajewski looking for an angle off the crossbar. And into the netting as Matthew shaking his head no to DeCalois, saying no chance for you.
Yeah, it's dangerous having Gajewski that close. And you can kind of see just right when he picks his head up, he's picking a spot, and that's exactly where that puck's going to go. He's that type of level of a shooter.
Off the dot, Reimer chases and keeps it in. Top left corner of the blue line, McLaughlin dishes to Mins. Played in the feet, that's Reagan. Back up top for McLaughlin. Lets a shot go. Tipped in front by Turin. Almost got it to get on net. Top of the circle, quick wrist shot. Whistles wide, that was Mins on the attempt. Power play setup has looked strong for the Bulldogs. They have one special team unit goal in this game already on both sides. A power play and a shorthanded goal. Reagan, a good pass, feeding it through, wide open was Turin. Oh, and just couldn't get the shot off in time. Reimer with a look, now it's Mins, opens up. Rotates around the offensive zone, takes a slash, but holds on to the puck. Turin trying to step on that shot, but it jumped over his stick at the last second. McLaughlin lifts it to Reimer, less than 10 seconds left. One-time drive, sticked into the netting. A nice save from Matthew.
Couple of great opportunities for the Bulldogs. I mean, they're just hounding the pressure on the power play. Couple of great tips by Turin. Nothing to show for it on the scoreboard, but the pressure for sure is there, and the momentum for sure is also in favor of the Bulldogs, which is exactly what you want to see here at the AIA.
We'll hop over the stick of Brow, and a nice move, a one-on-one chance. Odd numbers as Northwood couldn't convert. Garber lost it as he was trying to set up the play. Hard hit along the wall. This is going to draw a call as well. And Northwood absolutely furious. Interference is going to go against Bryce Garber. So 13-13 left in the third period, right as one penalty ended for the Timberwolves. They'll take another one. And we have a timeout taken by the visitors.
Maybe it is just to calm them down a little bit. Like, I don't necessarily know that penalty is why the timeout's called. But again, that call was made by the referee on the other side of the play, like across the ice. We saw one of those made earlier too, which is super interesting. But that time before it was against Adrian. Now this one against Northwood. Both sides upsetting by both of those calls. So it's just interesting. I don't know why the timeout was called. You have an idea of maybe why?
Probably just to. My guess is as good as yours. It's probably something along the lines of trying to settle the team down, and you have a player running to the boards. Then immediately after, you take a slashing call. Everybody's upset. Now you get another one that maybe you don't necessarily agree with. And it was a little bit of a late whistle. The hit was made, and the official thought about it and then threw his arm up. So some frustration possibly resonating from the Timberwolf bench, as they will have to head back to the kill now for the next 2 minutes.
I think especially it's frustrating for them when they're trying to get back into this game. They're down by 2, and now you're going to spend the next 4. Well, you spend 2 minutes, and now you're going to spend another 2 minutes of the 20 minutes in the third period that you have on the kill, and you give another chance for the Bulldogs to extend the lead.
So here we go again, power play restarting for Adrian College. Zaski whips it to his right. It was off the target, but Smith is able to recover. Flip-flops with Zaski. Snapshot gets blockered away by Matthew. Pushed around the boards. Gajewski passive in stepping up. And ultimately it's sent out of the zone. Zaski will have to head back to his own blue line, now the hash marks, to restart the rush. Off the boards, Jammer cutting to his left, drop pass, giving Smith some space. Smith to DeCalloway, drop to one leg, and it's just sailed high. I thought that might have went into the netting there, but somehow it stayed in play. Up the left wing, there's a shot, and this puck will be into the netting. Has some stick taps for the stick shot block.
That's best case scenario for Northwood, too. Get a draw, and if you possibly win it, you can take it back and burn some more time off the clock before sending it down. Seen Adrian do that a lot, especially Allen on the PK. He loves just to hold on to the puck for a little bit and bring it back into his own zone before tossing it to their netminder.
Off the draw, Northwood almost able to get away with a shot. Mins, a 2-on-1, Reagan to his left, pushes it for Reagan, who just stuffs it wide. .45 seconds remaining. McLaughlin to Reagan, flips it in, faking the shot. He's wide open, but not the right angle. I don't think he was expecting the pass there. McLaughlin to Reimer. Reimer to Reagan. McLaughlin. 180 move on the LT button. Stolen away by Dufani. It's locked up and separated from the puck. 15 seconds now on the power play. Turn to Reimer. Reimer with a face wash on Crawford. That generated some noise. Glove down and stolen. Here's Reimer. Cutting his way in. As he shifts off to the weak side. Play behind the net, nearing the 10-minute mark in the third period. I will step up to make a play. Luke Marley with his turn, rushing the puck. I lost it in between his feet and follows up with a shot. It was slow and rolling on the ice. It's Matthew who will cover up.
Good pressure from the Bulldogs. A little bit antsy on the blue line again. Lachlan had a couple of chances. They're on the power play, and has a couple of spin moves and kind of lost the puck there. They just want to make sure this puck is low for the next 10 minutes. You don't want a turnover in that blue line and creating an odd-man rush going the other way, giving life to the Timberwolves.
Strasky with a shot, glove down by Matthew.
I really like the shot selection there from Strasky. No, the low is not going to work, and he tries to throw it up high. Good save there by Matthew.
One touch pass is connected with Bedenko. As a scary trip up play. I think nice. Snapped his stick in half. He headed off the bench real fast. Hopefully he's okay. Odd man rush. Allen pulls up, lost it on his approach. Brow through the paint. Allen looking for a wrist shot off the post. It stays out. Seeing eye shot from Hunter Allen just doesn't go. Allen takes a chop. Traska racing back to the bench to get the extra attacker. It's DeCalloway who hops the bench. So we'll skip over. Allen winds up with a heavy slapper. And that one goes wide. DeCalloway, top of the circle. To Allen, who lets it go. Tipped on net, eaten up by the chest of Matthew, and some more pushing and shoving. 3-on-3 action. That's Weidman and Asanawe.
What I liked out of Adrian there was the patience with the puck. You got 6-on-5 action when the delayed penalty, because you even burn off some more time on the clock with the advantage too. Probably a good 50 seconds off, and you got only 9 minutes left in this hockey game. And another 2 minutes on the clock. And it's another 2 minutes of power play time and offensive zone time. As long as that puck is 200 feet from your netminder, then there's no chance the other team's going to score.
Bulldogs back to the power play again. I believe this is for the third time this period. Up top. Shot going, tipped in front. Jammer on the deflection. It only took 4 seconds. And the Bulldogs make it 4-1.
It's just the eyes out of Smith there when he gets that puck. And he has his head up the whole entire way when he gets it. Head up, head up, head up. And Jammer sitting there, just his stick on the ice, ready for the tip. And Smith plays it perfectly right to him. And instead of 2 minutes to burn, it's an extra goal on the board.
So now a 3-goal extended lead for the Bulldogs. Smith must have not liked the fact that we were talking about them not scoring on the power play this period. Decided to take matters into his own hands. Mott steps up with the hit. Sharp angle shot. Traska plays it down and leaves that puck for Mott. Jammer dumping it in. Will chase back after it on the coattails of McCarthy. Do-si-do in the corner. And out of the scrum, Jammer will head back to his bench.
And again, you can just see the forecheck from the Bulldogs is causing a lot of issues for the Timberwolves defensemen, especially when you have a guy like Justin Jammer barreling down on you and easily gets scared as a defenseman that he's going to absolutely hit you.
.23 left here in the third period. Offensive zone draw for the Bulldogs. Gajewski taking some shots on the ice, got another one to the face. And we'll see if they call this on both sides or just one.
This game is getting a little bit out of hand here. A lot of penalties from the Timberwolves. And, I mean, that one that one was just unbelievably not smart. Like, there's no reason to do that at all, especially when you're down by 3 trying to fight back into this game. And Adrian has another chance of taking advantage of it.
This is where you need to be smart, especially as the Bulldogs. You know you're going to start to get hit a little bit more at this point in the game. And especially knowing that you have another game against the same opponent right back here tomorrow. It's a lot of stuff to keep in mind. Need to protect your team. Down low is Jammer. Power play again for the Bulldogs. Zaski to Smith. Jammer on one knee, the rebound through the paint. Where is it? Behind him. Matthews sitting on top of it. They fight for it, and now we got some punches being thrown and things calming down just a bit. How did that stay out of the net?
I have no idea at all. Because they were playing pinball behind the netminder.
Wow.
I mean, a couple of chances for Jammer and Smith. And Akawi, too. I mean, I don't know how one of those didn't go off of the back of Matthew and find itself in the back of the net. Even that last play where it was just sitting behind him as well.
Gajewski gets the faceoff. Ripped shot from the point, goes wide. Zaski doing a good job at keeping it in. Calloway spins off from his man. Goes low, Jammer to the net. Smith on his backhand to the point, and Zaski lets a shot go, soaked in front. Todorovic got all of it with the shin pad. And it bounced all the way down the ice. Zaski will have to begin again. Second power play unit now out for the Bulldogs. McLaughlin to Reimer, who heads uphill. Going off the edge work. Finds Reagan underneath the red line. Off the boards, McLaughlin. Off for Mins. Back down for Reagan, who will circle the zone. Has options, drop pass. McLaughlin, a high rising shot over the crossbar. A lot of physicality in front of the net behind Turin and McCarthy. Turin definitely has to be careful there. Don't want to get called for something in front.
Yeah, he was giving a lot of slashes.
Reagan to the net. Fanned on the shot. Might have popped off the stick as he was going to let it fly. McLaughlin with a good look. Good shot block from McCarthy. Stick in the feet, trips up Mins. McLaughlin lets it go, and it stopped. 3 seconds left on the power play.
I'm very surprised that Turin didn't get one there. He was throwing cross checks and slashes like crazy on McCarthy right in the front of the net, and the referee was just watching it happen, really. And most of the time when you're trying to control a game, especially when it's kind of getting out of hand, those calls are typically made right away. So it's very interesting, and I think the Bulldog favor, they got away with one for sure.
6:13 left to go in this one. Nearing the end of regulation. March is able to exit the box. Northwood back to even strength. Marley picking up the boots, gets after it. Fell down to the ice. As now Nye to Strasky, crossed the lane. Touched up by Brow, who halts on the blue line. Marley trying to drive in front for Nye, but his pass was intercepted. Flipped over the heads of everyone in the neutral zone. Strasky gloved it down for a second. Brow takes a shove from behind by Asanawe. A chop from Nye. And now it's Brow. Tried to slide it through the feet of Asanawe. Allen will head after it, and this is icing with 5:08 left to go.
Yeah, a couple of tired Bulldogs out there for sure. All of them got their hands on their knees, basically. Northwood try to fight back into this game with 5 minutes left. This has to be a good opportunity for them, trying to capitalize.
Top of the blue line. Northwood trying to take control. This is off for Crawford. Traska took some contact there. Down in discomfort is Marley as he's limping back towards the bench. Look at that play from DeCallow. He was falling down, swiped it off a stick. Bounced in front as Matthew will grab it.
A little bit slow to get up there, too.
Right side offensive draw for the Bulldogs. Working through traffic. Weidman, a shot off the top of the brain bucket. Flurry of hits, and it's turned over. Now a loose break heading down the ice. It's crossed in. His shot is stopped. Rather, that might have been number 17 in Stangline. I saw the 7. It was hard to see if it was a 1 or a 2, and the Bulldogs in the process are going to get called for a penalty. And a late power play for Northwood.
Yeah, plays like that just can't happen, though. Zaski going behind the back, backhand right into the middle of the ice. And that could happen on a power play, but 5-on-5, there's going to be a forward there 10 times out of 10. And Tracy making a nice pad save on that breakaway opportunity.
Sigmund will get things going from his end. A fast pass finds its way to Todorovic. Over the line, through the general area of Traska. But some sloppy offensive play from the Timberwolves. They'll have to take it back and look things over. Asanawe over the line with a good look at the net. Thought about a wraparound chance and decided not to let it go. Delayed offsides for Northwood. That will afford them some time. Winding up with the slap shot. All the way down this goes, stopped by the boards. Matthew plays it towards the corner as it's Bedenko who now has it. Joe Crawford over the line. Sent all the way out by the Bulldogs again. Matthew has to stop it and put it behind the net. Bulldogs shutting down just about every zone entry sent their way, especially when Northwood is on the power play. That's been a constant theme the entire game.
And had a real struggle as they elect there just to try to dump it in and try to get bodies on it, and that doesn't work either.
Five seconds left. Little time remaining on the 5-on-4. Out of the box is Gajewski. We're back to even strength with 2 minutes remaining. At this point in the game, you just got to keep things clean and get to tomorrow. Sloppy play. Reagan will pick up the puck. Reagan scores! Cash Reagan slips it 5-hole.
And this all happened because Temple, a forward playing defense for a split second, took a stumble. As we'll catch the replay here. And then he took a stumble and Reagan takes advantage of it And he had an opportunity that he went to the backhand earlier. This time, instead of electing for a shot, he slips a 5-hole for a beauty of a goal.
Reagan, who's had a quietly good game all night, gets another insurance goal for Adrian College. Stick lift on Reimer, who has to drop it off. That was Zaski, who lifted it through the neutral zone. .60 seconds left now in regulation. Here's a turnover chance. Toe drag shot through the 5-hole and scores. Tegan Schurer gets one back with 53 seconds left.
Yeah, it's a sloppy play. Gray zone turnover, which you never like. The turnover by Reimer. And Traska just didn't have his stick on the ice. Wasn't able to get down in time. Thinking that puck was going to go top right, but instead it goes through the 5-hole.
Adrian College will likely look to stick like bazooka gum to the puck here and play possession. Mott will take this up on a rush of his own and is offsides. Oh, and Mott turning at the last second. A little bit of the intimidation factor.
Got me. For a second I thought he was going to throw a punch or something, the way he turned around there and stared at the Timberwolves defender.
Quick shot from Allen. .23 seconds left. Regulation will probably get one last draw.
This game has definitely slowed down within the last 5 minutes.
There's a last second rush. That's Lucas Nyes. Ripped around the glass. Stopped in the zone. McLaughlin will carry it out. 2 seconds and 1. And that will do it. Bulldogs take game 1 of the end of week series by a score of 5-2. And we'll move on to tomorrow night.
Yeah, a little bit scary to begin the game. I mean, you go down 1-0 early, but Adrian able to bounce back in that first period, and it was basically all of them throughout the rest of this one. Had a little bit of penalty trouble to begin that second period, but ended up being the power plays from Adrian that capitalized the opportunities, and they came out on this one up top.
One down, one more to go in this weekend series between Northwood and Adrian College. The boys in the yellow, black, and white will head to center ice for their end-of-game stick taps. And the second game tomorrow night right here on ACTV. That is a 7:05 puck drop. I'll be on the call. Of course, we will miss you tomorrow, Mr. Super Tax.
Got to win.
But we got to win. We certainly do. And there's definitely a lot that can be cleaned up heading into tomorrow's match. Like you said earlier, it was not a pretty start, and it definitely was not a pretty finish despite the goal differential being by 3. Need to stay out of the box definitely is the number one thing, but on top of that, got to have a strong start. That's going to be the biggest thing tomorrow. Need to have the energy coming flying out of the gate.
I think that, as well as you got to keep the foot on the gas. I mean, you kind of saw after that last goal in the last couple of minutes, it was kind of just, hey, let's throw the puck around and kind of treat it like the Trine game almost in a sense. Like, let's just do something kind of silly and see if it works. And the Timberwolves had 2 great opportunities. I mean, that breakaway that Chaska stopped was off of a bad turnover, and then the goal that they had was also off of a bad turnover. So I think for sure that needs to be cleaned up, and you just want a clean game out of these Bulldogs, as we kind of haven't gotten that type of a game just yet.
Well, game number 1 will go to the good guys, and the Bulldogs win this 5-2. Alex Herman, Tyler Ackerman signing off for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow evening. You've been watching Bulldog Hockey on ACTV.